What's up, my wonderful friends? It is Danny Gallows, of course, who'd you think it was, and welcome back to another magical musical vlog. So guys, for today's video, I wanted to show all of you how to make some super awesome, super unique, super cool beats, while at the same time displaying how it can be done very simply. Because even though I'm not that popular of a musician, you'd be surprised how many times people have reached out to me just to ask me about my beats. Because, the thing is, sometimes, well, oftentimes, people don't really pay attention to the beat. They just copy and paste the beat or do something that has already been done 100 times or maybe even 1,000 times before. But for me, the beat is always the skeleton of the song. It is always the foundation on which I build the rest of my song. I very rarely begin with samples. I almost always begin with my beat first, and then see how I can mold my samples around that beat. So what I'm going to do for you now is play for you guys one of my brand new songs called Floral Essence, which just dropped a couple weeks ago. Now this song has one of the most unique beats that I have ever kind of thrown together. And it's also a beat that I used on a song that I released about 1.5 years ago called Pashul. But I wanted to bring it back for this particular song just because I just needed to use that beat again. Sometimes you go through that experience. I very rarely use the same beat. In fact, I think I may have only done it maybe twice in my entire career, including this song. But sometimes the beat is just so sick, you have to see how else you can use it. What else can I do with this? Alright, so let's play Floral Essence now and pay close attention to the beat, right? I just love that beat so much. I just love the rhythms and tones and the structures, the compositions that you can produce out of that, right? It has this great effect where it makes your body want to sway and dance, and it makes your head want to bob up and down, right? But where is that coming from? Is that coming from the song itself? Is that coming from the substance, the samples, right? How the notes and the tones of the song? No, it's coming from the rhythm. It's coming from the drum beat of the song, the most important element, the skeleton of the entire structure of the song. Okay, so now what I've done is I've gone through and I've muted all of the other elements in the song so you guys can just listen to the beat itself. So let's just listen to the raw beat itself. You hear everything going on in there? You hear all those layers? There's a lot going on in there, right? And the reason there's a lot going on in there is because, here's my big secret, here's my big reveal, it's 2 beats playing at once. Sometimes the easiest, simplest method for producing brand new beats is to simply just layer 2 beats together. This is a kind of a trick, if you want to call it that, I guess, that musicians use, especially electronic musicians, use quite often. Because as you're going through your beats, you'll discover that some of them will sync up if you layer one beat over the other. Some of them will actually sync up. And when that happens, well, it produces a brand new beat, right? Brand new. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute, right, one of the beats. And now we'll just listen to the first beat that I have sampled here. Just a nice, slow, easy, chill hop beat. Very, very simple, right? Okay. Now, we'll mute this beat and we'll listen to the second drum beat, which I'll probably have to turn up a little bit because I have it turned down, and we'll get into that element later. All right. So now let's just play it with the second drum beat that I sampled. Right? Now this beat is up tempo, right? Hip hop drums. right? Now in comparison to the other beat was down tempo, right? Remember? Doom, doom, ga, doom, doom, ga, doom, doom, ga. And then you have this beat, which is more of an up-tempo kind of hip-hop drums. And then what happens is that when you layer one beat over the other, the down-tempo beat with the up-tempo beat, then all of a sudden, right, produces this brand new cool beat. And it sounds a little bit messy, but they go together quite well. Now the reason why it sounds just a little bit messy is because both beats are at the same level volume-wise. So what'll happen in that circumstance is one beat will always try to overtake the other as long as you keep them at the same volume. So the other trick that I use is the first beat that I keep, that I want to be the most dominant in the song, whether it has a strong bass line or just a composition or a kind of certain tone or rhythm that I really like about that drum beat. Whatever I want to be the dominant drum beat, I'll always have in the first position. And then the second drum beat that I choose to blend with the first drum beat, what I'll do is I'll turn the volume down on it to about 25%. Right now they're both at around 50%. So what I'll do now is I'll turn the second beat down back to around 25% again, and then all of a sudden, right, it sounds much cleaner now, because that fast, that up-tempo beat isn't trying to take over the down-tempo beat. So you get a much smoother drum line. And there you go, just a simple little trick. And that, of course, is basically the beginner's tutorial, because as you get deeper into it, what you'll discover is that there's all different kinds of ways to manipulate beats. Instead of just taking one beat as a whole and, layering it over the other, you can take sections, just like you do with the samples. You can take sections from drum beats that you like and expand them, and then layer that with more sections that you've removed. You can expand them, you can make them longer, you can make them shorter, you can piece them together in specific patterns and really make your own super unique special beat, right? But the key is that sometimes it's the simplest methods that work the best. And just taking two different drum beats, and seeing, experiment. Music is all about experimentation. Experiment with it. See which drum beats mesh up. Maybe drum beats that you never thought would go together. I mean, here's a perfect example. An upbeat hip-hop drum beat going with a really down-tempo chill-hop beat. They're two separate beats that don't sound like they would go together, yet they blend perfectly together. So when you're on your audio workstation, experiment with your beats next time. See if two different beats could actually come together and make one really sick drum beat. I mean, it's worth a try, and we need more uniqueness out there in the world of music, obviously, and beats is a great place to start. Well, my friends, that is my method for making super cool, really unique beats, very simply. But now comes the best part of the video, where I turn it over to all of you. So do you guys have your own special ways that you like to craft beats? And if so, leave them, all your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. I love reading about all the different ways people make music. It is so cool to me. But yeah, this is my method, and now I want to hear from you guys. So if you guys are looking for a really, really simple, cool way to make beats, here's a quick little tutorial for you guys, basically for beginning musicians who are just, starting out, looking to make really cool, unique beats, looking for a way to kind of expand their knowledge on music theory and experimenting with music. It's right there. It's a simple way to start, and it'll really expand your imagination through writing music. And so that's it, guys. I'm done rambling for the day. But as always, until next we meet, take care, and I'll see you guys back here for the next musical vlog very soon. Peace.